episode is going to be absolutely amazing, and if you want it as soon as possible, hype this video up and make sure we hit 200 comments. I'll upload the next part right away. Sasha kept moving forward, but then her eyes caught something. She noticed a small child standing near the light. She called out from behind, "Hey you kid, stop right there!" She began walking toward him. Sasha told him again to stay where he was, and then she herself started moving closer. But Light began thinking to himself, "This isn't the right place to finish things. I've waited 3 years for this revenge, and no matter what happens, I will complete it. But for now, I have to wait a little longer." Sasha finally reached Light, and the moment Light turned toward her, Sasha said, "Hey human, take off that ugly mask from your face." But Light didn't do it, so Sasha slapped him hard, sending his mask flying far away. The moment Nemomo and Gold saw this, they became furious, but Light calmed them down. He removed his hoodie and showed Sasha the scar-covered face underneath. Sasha still didn't recognize him. She said, "Ugh, you look awful. Just put your mask back on. And honestly, with a face like that, you don't even deserve to be alive." Sasha walked away, leaving him behind. Light and his group continued moving forward, though Nemomo and Gold were still extremely angry at her. Light reminded them that they were close to completing their revenge anyway, and they just needed to wait a little longer. They started heading toward the forest, but Light turned around and noticed some elves trailing them. The group increased their speed to escape, but the elves refused to back down and kept chasing. Light and the others were talking when suddenly the elves reached them. The elves shouted, "Humans, you made us run a lot. Now we'll end you here, and consider yourself lucky. You get to die at the hands of elves." They wanted nothing more than to kill Light. Light didn't want to hurt them, so he said, "Mira, can you help me please?" The elves confusedly asked, "Who are you calling?" But the moment Light spoke, a terrifying ghost appeared behind the two elves. The intense mana alone terrified them. She said, "You disrespected my lord, and for that I have to kill you." Mira used her powers and gave both of them a merciless death. She then stood beside Light, watching the brutal way she killed them. Everyone was shaken because Mira was surrounded by dark, demonic energy. The group then discussed how they would carry out their revenge on Sasha. But that wasn't all. Light's other cards also arrived. Each one had a level above 5,000. Their names were Isit, Mira, Suzu, and Jack, and each one was extremely powerful. They discussed how to reach the tower, since that was going to be their headquarters on the surface. As they continued moving, Jack told his brother Gold, "You did well helping Light. I'm proud of you, and Light is like my little brother anyway." But when Light's subordinates heard this, they thought Jack was disrespecting him. They grew angry and even considered killing Jack. Light quickly stepped in and stopped the fight. He explained that he didn't care what people called him, as long as they were loyal to Lord Light. Things finally settled down, and they continued forward. Everyone felt happy knowing they would be able to help their lord. Light talked with Isit, who revealed that she had been trained by him since she was also a maid. Mira joined the conversation too. Suzu, being extremely shy, couldn't talk to Light directly. Instead, her weapon, named Locke, spoke on her behalf. Meanwhile, Aogi and Eli were sitting at the tower waiting for Light and his group. They sensed Light approaching. As soon as Light arrived, Eli and the others rushed forward, excited to greet him and play with his small sword. "Lord Light, your arrival makes me so happy," Eli said. Everyone else was thrilled too, because this tower was now their headquarters, where they would carry out their mission and plan Sasha's downfall. They all entered inside as Eli explained the tower's special abilities. No physical or magical attacks work within it. Even the entrance was guarded by a dangerous dragon, Eli's pet, and if anything went wrong, the dragon would destroy everything. Light walked toward his throne, and his subordinates were overjoyed to see it. They began their meeting to plan Sasha's revenge. Eli stepped forward and asked, "Lord Light, may I explain my plan?" Light agreed. Eli told everyone the plan. First, they would set up Sasha's wedding here, then invite the White Knights. Using their help, they would gather information about the Master. And finally, they would happily finish Sasha once and for all. Everyone cheered after hearing it. Eli used her magic and summoned Light's shadow clone. This clone would go into the dungeon to level up, ensuring no one suspected anything. Light thanked her, saying the plan wouldn't work without her. Their only goal now was to bring Sasha here. Meanwhile, Sasha was seen heading into the forest with the elves she had hired. Her only mission was to kill Light, and no one could know he was still alive. Next, we see Sasha moving forward again, but suddenly she spots a massive dragon deep inside the forest. That alone was enough to scare her, so Sasha decided to return to the Royal Kingdom and bring the White Knights with her. And this was exactly what Light had planned from the beginning. He wanted Sasha and the White Knights to walk straight into his trap. Everything was unfolding exactly the way he wanted, because a war was coming. Light's army versus the 11 Kingdoms and the White Knights. That night, Sasha met with the White Knights to discuss how they would reach Light's tower and carry out the rest of the plan. She told all the knights that the tower was full of dangerous monsters and even a dragon. Hearing this shocked the White Knights. They could hardly believe Sasha, wondering if she was even telling the truth, because if what she said was real, then the day wasn't far when the 11 Kingdoms would be completely destroyed. But then the commander of the kingdom stepped forward and said that the Black Fools had made the exact same report earlier, meaning Sasha was telling the truth. After that, everyone began planning how they would enter Light's tower. Before finalizing anything, the Queen and the others asked the White Knights commander, Hooty, for his decision. Hooty thought deeply for a moment and finally said, "All right, tomorrow morning we'll head out to destroy that tower." They finalized their plan. First, they would kill the dragon and then proceed with everything else. But then Sasha went to the commander and begged, "Please, commander, I want to join the mission." The commander refused, saying Sasha's level was much lower than the Black Knights. But he added, "Fine, I'll give you permission, but I need something strange from your father in return." Sasha agreed. That night, she went to her father and convinced him to hand over whatever the commander wanted. Early the next morning, the White Knights and Sasha gathered together. They were now fully prepared to move toward the tower. First, they discussed how they would enter, but the White Knights still didn't trust Sasha at all. Then Sasha's fiancé, Kill, stepped forward and said, "Sasha isn't weak. Her level is actually around 500. Hearing this surprised everyone, including Nia and the others. Finally, they agreed to bring Sasha along. The White Knights and the others headed toward the forest, but Light and his team were watching them the entire time. Light said to Eli, "You're doing great. I know Sasha and the others will arrive soon." Hearing this made Light even more excited. Meanwhile, the White Knights moved deeper into the forest. They still didn't trust whether Sasha was really strong or not. So they asked her, "Sasha, are we following the right path to the boss?" She answered yes. They continued forward, and Nikhil, one of the White Knights, gave her his full support. Finally, they reached Light's tower. The moment the White Knights saw it, they were shocked. The tower was enormous, and the intense mana radiating from it was overwhelming. Suddenly, the gate of the tower opened, and dangerous monsters began to come out. But the White Knight's plan was only to kill the dragon, Eli's pet. The commander, Hooty, said, "We don't need to fight these monsters. The adventurers' party will handle them." The monsters moved aside, clearing the path. Now Hooty and his team were fully ready to move in. Before entering, Hooty used his silence ability, a terrifying power. Sasha couldn't feel her breathing or even her heartbeat. If any normal person entered this barrier, they would die instantly, and within it, no one could sense their presence. Now they were ready to enter the tower. At the same time, Light and his team were prepared to face them. The White Knights rushed forward, speed running through the tower, but suddenly, a teleportation spell activated beneath them, separating everyone from each other. And then Light said, "Sasha, everything is about to begin. I want to see what kind of face you make when I finally finish you."